If you're interested in learning 6 tips that will help improve your overall teaching experience with GoGoKid, then keep watching. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. And thank you for checking out this video. My name is Sarah, or Teacher Sarah, as the kids call me. I decided to start my own YouTube channel just to share some tips from in the kitchen as well as in the classroom, because I am an online ESL teacher with GoGoKid. These are things that I learned along the way that I thought would be useful to share, that I didn't know when I first started, and I think it would have helped make things a little bit less stressful for me in the beginning. So if you're interested in getting 6 tips, then keep watching. And if you're new to my channel, which you probably are because it is a brand new channel, hit the subscribe button below. I will be posting videos weekly. Whew. My hair is crazy today. Okay, so tip number 1, and this might seem silly, but this was something that drove me nuts the first few days when I started with GoGoKid and prepping for my interview. It has to do with your camera. On GoGoKid, everything that you see will look backwards. Things behind you, like your name, it will all appear reversed. But the student does not see that. The student sees the proper orientation, so they flip the view for the student. I remember panicking before my interview. I was all ready to go, and then all of a sudden I went in, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is backwards. Like, what am I gonna do? And I quickly tried altering my settings. I couldn't figure it out, so what I ended up doing was writing my name backwards. So I wrote Teacher Sarah backwards for my interview, and nobody even told me in the interview that it was backwards. That's the crazy part. I thought that my camera was wrong the whole time, and I was freaking out. And it's embarrassing for me to say, but it was a student's dad who actually told me that it was showing up backwards. And this was one of my first few classes. I was so embarrassed, and it was because I was writing on the whiteboard backwards. Thinking about it now, I sound like a maniac, and I assumed that what I saw, they saw. But that's not the case. So, oh look, I've got a X. Not the case. Yours is gonna show up backwards. It will be flipped for the student. Okay, tip number 2. Oh, I just did 3. Tip number 2. Flashcards are your friends. They are just a super inexpensive prop and really useful prop. I remember thinking when I started, what am I going to do? Because I was looking online and so many people had a million different props and I just didn't have those. I just went to the dollar store and got 3 different flashcard packs. The first one is language, first words flashcards. This has things like balloon, fruit, bird, dog. You will use these a ton. The next one is math, and it counts from 1 up to 12. And the last set that I got is basic skills, pre-K to K, basic skills, and this has colors, shapes, that's it. But it has a bunch of them. I would definitely recommend using some flashcards. Okay, tip number 3. I'm just gonna check to make sure I'm still recording. Okay, we're good. Tip number 3 is kind of a bummer actually, but there is no new teacher bonus. This was news to me, and maybe I am just out to lunch, but it seemed like everywhere that I looked online, people were talking about this new teacher bonus. Basically, it was the opportunity to earn up to $300 if you met certain criteria within your first 30 days, I think. And you will find some conflicting information on Freshdesk. It is not always up to date. I was very confused. I thought that it still existed, and I was super excited. And people were even commenting on YouTube videos recently, like a month ago, excited about the bonus, and I guess nobody had told them otherwise. It does not exist anymore. But there are a bunch of bonuses that GoGoKid offers. These are mostly at the end of the month or when holidays approach, where people would normally take some time off. So definitely keep your eyes out for those. But unfortunately, don't get your hopes up. There is no new teacher bonus. I am having some technical difficulties here. Okay, tip number 4. Since we're talking about bookings mostly happen on Mondays. For most classes, they will become available for parents to book Mondays at 12 p.m. Beijing time for the following week. So what do I mean by that? Today is Friday, December 6th. On Monday, December 9th, is that right? 7, 8, 9, yeah. So on Monday, December 9th at 12 p.m. Beijing time, the schedule will open up for parents to book for the week of December 16th to the 22nd. So the following Monday to Sunday. You might be thinking, why is this important? It's very important when you're first starting out because you're gonna be super excited and you'll put your schedule up there and you might not get booked right away. That could be discouraging. I know it was for me. But within a couple days, I actually got a ton of bookings because that rush happened on Monday at 12 p.m. and I had my full schedule open, and so I got booked. So just keep that in mind. You can get the odd bookings not on that rush day, but I think that that's just for the supplementary classes. So you'll want to make sure that you have your schedule opened a week to a week and a half in advance. Tip number 5 is related to the trial classes. When you are a new teacher, you probably will be getting a lot of trial classes because it's harder to get regulars. The students don't necessarily always show up because they don't have to pay for the trial classes. It has happened to me. I remember just standing there thinking, like, is this person gonna come? It kind of sucks, especially if that's like your first class or your first couple classes and nobody shows up. But you're getting paid still, so it is great. So don't be discouraged. You do get 60% of your pay if you stay for 15 minutes of the class. So it's easy money. You just wait there. The other thing that is important to know with trials, I did not know this, is that the content can change on the fly. You might be given a trial student and perhaps their parent put them in a level that was maybe too advanced for them. This is what happened to me. And so they come into the trial class. The first slide is an assessment slide to gauge what level they should start in. And you might have a student that just cannot understand you. They maybe can't even speak any English. So then when you fill out your assessment, you'll say, no, they couldn't answer the question. It'll drop them down a level. That might kick you out of that particular trial class. So I found myself totally prepared to teach the lemon and peach lesson. I think that's what it was. And then it kicked me out and it put me back into a lower trial class. It makes sense in theory, I just didn't think of it that way and I didn't think that that would happen. So everything that I had prepared for this class now was useless to me. And so I had to just make it up on the fly. And it ended up being fine, but in that moment, I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, just keep smiling, just keep talking, try to make it fun. So just be prepared for that. It can happen. If it does happen, just go with the flow, try to make it a great experience. But yeah, that's just one thing I wanted to share. And finally, this brings us to tip number 6. There's a fantastic online community here with GoGoKid. There's 2 Facebook groups that I'm a part of. I'll link them down below. So if you are a GoGoKid teacher, you can join those. And it's super helpful because people are constantly posting on there with questions. They'll add materials and resources to share with the group or just sharing their experiences, whether it's negative or positive. So it's really helpful for new teachers and veterans of the teaching community. So that's really great. There's also a thing called Fresh Desk, which I talked about earlier, that is provided by GoGoKid. It's sort of like an online forum. There's tons of good information in there. I will say that you do have to search a little bit. It's not the easiest to navigate, but the one thing to be aware of if you're looking on Fresh Desk is that you might pull up an article that was correct at the time, but it might be a couple months from that point and it's no longer valid. So an example of that is the new teacher bonus. You'll see tons of information about the new teacher bonus on Fresh Desk. In fact, it's listed right on the front page. There's a big link. Just be careful of that if you are using Fresh Desk, but there's tons of great information on there. Definitely take advantage of the community that is online. And welcome to the community if you're a new teacher. It's a great place to work. It has been absolutely fantastic so far.
And that's it. I hope you enjoyed my 6 tips for new teachers.
Thanks for watching this video. If you are going through the hiring process with GoGoKid currently, or if you are interested, send me a message or comment below. My referral number is also listed below, so I would be happy to help you through the hiring process. I know it can be very daunting and overwhelming at times. I was definitely overwhelmed when I first got hired. I was excited, but I wasn't quite sure, what to do, where to start. So I can help you with all of that and just help make it a little bit more of a smooth and stress-free process. Thanks for watching this video, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up below or hit the subscribe button. I will be posting weekly, so subscribe below and stay tuned.